everybody.
Happy Friday,
As you can see, this is definitely the realest podcast, as in we're just getting all our notes together right now.
Is Captain going to be joining us today?
He is, I
will.
think.
Okay.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody. We're just getting our notes.
All right.
Ready. We were.
You want to talk about anything you've been playing, Sig?
In a little bit. We got to do the intro. Anybody out there? Anybody out there this week? It's Memorial Weekend.
That's true. It is Memorial Day weekend.
All right. I guess I'll go ahead and.
We got a packed show, so.
Yeah. All right. So, hello and good morning. Welcome, gamers. We are FPS Guides. Our goal is to bring the gaming community together with reviews, guides, news, and clutch plays. This is our weekly podcast. We do it every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where we bring the latest in news, rumors, controversies, and discussions. Here you'll find some facts, some opinions, and a lot of lame jokes.
A lot of lame jokes.
Mostly from this guy here.
Oh, all right.
If you like what we do here, be sure to check us out on our website, fpsguides.com, and follow us on the social medias. That'll really help give us a boost. And for all you listeners out there, FPS Guides Podcast can now be found on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Music, Alexa,
YouTube.
I mean, just just search for us. You'll find us. And we're a small but growing community comprised of gamers, young and old, who are just passionate about gaming. And if you're interested in becoming a part of our community,
Hijacked your intro.
or becoming
If you're
a content
community,
creator,
part of the content creators,
hit us up.
hit us up on our website. We would
There you
love
go.
to hear from you.
Do that. Thank you. That's what we got.
We'll go ahead and jump into it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. It is your boy, Captain Stiffy.
We definitely
in
have
the
to
house.
up the pace slightly on this show.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of stuff.
there's a lot to talk about. One of the big things is a certain drama that is surrounding a content creator and pro gamer known as Tfue and the umbrella organization that he is under known as FaZe Clan.
Yeah, and then we got some update on the Riot story that we reported on, that we talked about last week.
Yeah, we're not reporters.
We're not reporters.
We're not reporters.
We're-
We're not there.
Um,
Not there
I don't know.
getting the scoops.
By the way, this is episode 41.
Episode 41.
Episode
There
41.
we are.
come on, getting there.
So yeah, a lot of news today, a lot of little bits, a lot of rapid fire rumors,
But,
and
What have you guys been playing recently?
big thing FaZe Clan.
Because a lot of games have been coming out recently.
A lot of games have been coming out recently. I tried Dauntless, and I've been playing Dauntless last night.
Would you recommend giving it a shot?
Yes,
Okay.
for the low price of nothing, I would highly recommend giving it a shot. It is a free-to-play game. It's basically a Monster Hunter clone, but with the style of Fortnite. It's
Okay,
heavy
cool.
inspirations from the Fortnite, the very cartoony
From the
characters,
Fortnite.
that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. I didn't have any issue with it. There's a steady progression. It's not like forcing you to, it's not like paywalling you progression. At least so far, I'm at level like 5 or 6, not paywalling me or anything. There's like a battle pass and all that good stuff. But I mean, it's pretty cool. I highly recommend it. It's a cool game to play with your friends, and because it's like a cross-platform, cross progression
On
you can
every
play with-
system.
on every system, you can play with any of your friends anytime.
Nice. Anything else you've been playing?
Besides
Z.
that, I made a little bit of World War Z, not a whole lot. I've been playing Dragon's Dogma. I've been getting back into that just because I feel like it.
True.
That's basically it. Yeah, what about you guys?
I've been playing Smash consistently, just like to practice, and I did download Dauntless last night. I downloaded Katana Zero last night, and I'll probably be playing this new game called Splitgate Arena Warfare. It looks pretty cool. I'll try it out. It's
cool.
free to play as well. It's like a Portal Halo mashup, and it's on Steam. Comes out today, and it's free. So try it out.
Wow. What about you?
Nice. Played Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh yeah.
So did
play
you?
that. Yeah, I did play that this week.
How was
yeah.
that?
It was alright.
It was pretty
How was
cool.
going back to a traditional fighting game from playing so much Smash?
Felt much more limited.
So much more
Movement wise,
limited.
yeah.
Yeah.
As far
You're not
as-
really going anywhere. It's just
Yeah.
you. It's just you versus me. Right
Everybody
here.
fast falls. There isn't a double jump. It just felt blocky and clunky. But
Was it enjoyable? Did
It
you like
was-
playing it?
I liked seeing the moves. It's I almost didn't mind losing to long time. Finish him because I wanted to see the fatalities because
True.
they look pretty cool.
They do look really cool.
Yeah,
They did put a lot of
It
effort
was a
into
good
that.
time.
Yeah. But as far as the fun factor, I would use subpar. I think we played it for 1 day, right? We did a 3-day rental. We rented it for 3 days on Redbox. Which actually that's not a bad deal. Like you get a game for 3 nights or 2 days, 3 nights. Wrong. 3 days, 2 nights for $7.
That's
And we got more than our fill on that one.
Oh,
On that 1 day.
This
So
is- I mean, I guess it's good for games you weren't really sure about. You want to try it out. I mean, how much was it? Like $10?
yeah, $7 for 3 nights for
Not
three
bad.
3 days
Yeah,
playing
not
it.
bad.
that's like a good,
Yeah.
just like try it before you buy.
The only
type of
thing is you have to like install it for the first couple of hours after getting it.
I mean, there's no bigger evidence to how fun a game is if you never played again after you played it for what 2-3 hours maybe
Yeah,
during lunch hour or
something like that.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, that's no knock on Mortal Kombat. I just don't think that's something we're into right now. I mean, Mortal Kombat 11's been pretty well received.
Yeah, amongst the fans, they say they really like it.
It's like
So
one of the
amongst the fans.
Yeah.
people who are into Mortal Kombat series. I mean, you guys seems like you played Mortal Kombat in the past, but it was never like your guys' go-to fighting game. You guys were more like Tekken or Street Fighter or something like that.
I don't think it's ever really been that technical. I mean, there's a lot of things you can really expose in the game
Mhm.
Yeah.
where there's a lot of balancing issues. Let's just put it that way. Like Scorpion and Sub-Zero have always been head and shoulders. Like
well, because they are Mortal Kombat, like
yeah,
the
but
face
I
of
mean,
Mortal Kombat.
it kind of makes it. I don't know. It's just not fun. It's fun.
Okay. I
It
mean,
was
all
great.
right.
It was a fun
yeah, you're
game.
right. There are fans out there,
It was
but
a-
none of us 3 are. So who cares, right?
you would say like it's a good quality game, but
We tried
it's
it
not
out.
for you.
It was a high quality game.
Yeah.
It's just not our kind of thing.
Fair, totally
There we
fair.
are.
It was high quality.
Oh yeah.
It was,
Oh yeah.
Very
They
pretty.
put some work into it.
All right.
The second game, which we got installed, but we've just been so busy with real work that
it's a one-player game.
we
too,
haven't
so-
played it yet. Yeah. What did we rate?
Rage.
Rage 2.
Rage
That's
2.
right. Rage 2.
I feel like I don't know, man. When that game goes on sale, I might pick it up just because it just looks like big loud fun, you
It
know?
was a good time. I mean,
Yeah.
It's fun.
same reason Doom was fun.
Yeah, we'll probably have gameplay footage. Hopefully, maybe for next week's episode. But that's it. Just the Mortal Kombat and not in time, but Rage 2.
I want to highlight for this week, because I'm just going to throw it out there. If you've never heard of Natural Selection 2, you should look it up on Steam. It's pretty sick. And it's mad cheap, dude. You can get like 1 copy for $10, or you can get like 4 copies for $25.
That's cool. More people
Yeah.
should do deals like that.
Yeah. It's like,
Encourages buying.
especially since it's a game it's a co-op game, so you're gonna want to play with your friends. So I'm not gonna take too much time about it, but look into it. Natural Selection 2. I'm trying to get people into it because I'm interested in getting it, but I'm not gonna get it if nobody else has it. So,
True.
but anyways,
Okay.
I guess we'll go ahead and start jumping into
Yeah, jump into the news here.
the news.
Let's try not to, focus super duper long on the
Yeah.
headline. It is important.
I do
It
want to
is important,
spend.
but
I end up.
we do have other
I
topics. so.
feel like I end up spending probably around 15 to 20 minutes on it. It just depends.
It's a little too long.
It is a pretty big.
Get
It's
15
what
max.
everyone's talking about in the esports world. So the FaZe Clan versus T-Feud lawsuit, and just if there's anything that we don't go over here, I highly recommend checking out the Score Esports. It's a channel on YouTube. I highly recommend checking out their video. They have a very in-depth video. We have other stuff to talk about, so I'm not going to go too in-depth about it, but I'm going to talk about as much as I can. So the basic premise is T-Feud is taking legal action against FaZe Clan regarding the terms of the contract T-Feud signed with FaZe Clan back in September, I believe. Or no, it was before September.
Yeah, a little bit.
All this started around September of last year, where T-Feud was trying to get out of the contract, and FaZe doesn't want him out of the contract, so they're trying to get him to renegotiate. There's been a lot of back and forth, and here we are, however many months later, and lawyers have been taken into the picture, and it's gotten pretty hairy. If you frequented Twitch or YouTube, you've probably seen a lot of response videos or reaction videos from people like Ninja or FaZe Banks, who is the one of the owners and one of the first people of FaZe Clan. So the reason that Tfue is trying to get out of his contract, because he describes the contract as onerous, one-sided, halting his progress as a content creator. He also is taking legal action against them for the purpose of supposedly pressuring him to drink underage, to gamble and stuff, because Tfue was 20 when he signs with FaZe Clan. And this has become this whole ordeal, and I feel like a lot of people may not be fully comprehensive of what exactly the lawsuit is saying. And I've looked at the lawsuit and I've read it, and there are some semantics that I think people are missing. And so the big thing to realize that the main issue surrounding the contract is that FaZe Clan, according to a clause, I thought I had it printed out, but I don't know. But basically, the clause saying that FaZe Clan is entitled to 80% split of any endorsement deals brought to FaZe Clan by Tfue or vice versa.
Okay.
Endorsement deals.
All right.
This does not include any money that Tfue has made via Twitch, via YouTube, via any kind of streaming services like that. This does not include that. This is purely endorsement deals.
Basically outside deals.
Basically outside deals, third party. So if Tfue wants to get an endorsement with Hasbro to get like an action figure, then FaZe is reportedly entitled to 80% of that. And as a content creator, that can be very limiting, especially for somebody who's blown up as much as Tfue. I mean, I've heard people literally call him the king of Twitch right now, because he is just like the biggest thing on Twitch right now. And
He surpassed Ninja.
he is blown up.
His numbers have exceeded Ninja's.
His numbers have
Wow.
exceeded Ninja's. Yeah. So he is absolutely blown up. And if you ever watch him play, he's super good. This guy's a god. But that's the key word. The key word is the endorsements. Now, FaZe Clan responded the same day, which has happened on the 20th, about the lawsuit, saying, and this was mostly from FaZe Banks, who took to Twitter and took to YouTube and started just blowing it up with all these kinds of videos saying that he was hurt and that Tfue is a liar and that they were boys, and he's a POS for doing all this, and just all this very emotionally charged stuff. And he goes on to say that Tfue was a liar, saying that they have never seen any money from them as far as competitions goes. He's only gotten 60% of one endorsement, or no, sorry, $60,000 from one endorsement. That is what FaZe Banks has said.
Okay.
Now,
all right.
This is skirting the point, though, because he has said explicitly in the lawsuit that it isn't about money from other sources. It's about the endorsements. And this is key. And FaZe Banks has come up and said multiple times in FaZe's official responses that, like, we have only taken this amount of money from them, and we have not taken any money from this, and we only make it $60,000, while Tfue has made, quote unquote, millions. But they keep saying that we haven't taken any money from his competitions or his streams or his content. It's like, yes, but that is not the point of the lawsuit. The point of the lawsuit is the endorsements. And it goes on further. The web kind of gets even more tangled, where FaZe Clan technically is acting as an agency by making these decisions about certain endorsement deals on behalf of Tfue. FaZe Clan is not allowed to do that in the state of California, which they are headquartered, because FaZe Clan is not a licensed agency. FaZe Clan is basically an organization pretty similar to us. Well, we don't have the right to make endorsement deals on behalf of people who are part of this organization, just like they don't, because they are not a licensed agency. And that's how Tfue explains they did just that.
Interesting.
And one of the examples that Tfue gives is, for example, Tfue
has apparently, I mean, allegedly, this is all, from what I'm reading from Tfue's responses and from just from other sources. Tfue has allegedly set up his own endorsement deal with HyperX. So if you don't know who HyperX is, they make, they make pretty high-end, just gamer gear, headphones, stuff like that. I have one. They're pretty good. But they were denied, that endorsement deal was denied by FaZe Clan because allegedly FaZe Clan already has connections with HyperX's competitor, which is SteelSeries, which is another,
Okay.
brand of
I've not heard of them,
stuff.
so that's
SteelSeries
just to show you how big they are.
SteelSeries is pretty good stuff, man. They're high end. So, if this is the case, this is no bueno because FaZe Clan
Can't
is
do
not
that.
allowed to do that.
Can't do that.
You can't make these decisions on behalf of Tfue. They are not an agency. So, to put it short, Tfue wants out of this contract. He's wanted out of this contract since September of last year when he started negotiating with a lawyer to try and get out of the contract. And he says he regrets doing it all in the first place, and he feels that at this point he could do much better without FaZe. He could make more money because at this point Tfue is kind of the biggest part of
You
FaZe
probably
Clan.
can, right?
Yeah, he absolutely can. If you've ever seen him play, he's really good. I only thought it was a matter of time before he blew up. And FaZe Clan was there for his blow up, but he feels like at this point he's outgrown them, and they're just limiting his progress. And so this
I can
kind
understand
of
that.
brings up this whole discussion about predatory tactics with predatory tactics against content creators in terms of contracts. This isn't a new thing. This has happened before with other forms of art, like singers or actors.
Yeah,
And-
it's pretty much everything that's happened with movies and music, but just lag behind because video games are so new.
Exactly, and this is, esports is a sphere that is so rapidly growing that it kind of got to this point where these content creators, at this point, for all intents and purposes, they're artists. They make something, they perform, they act, they make something, and at this
Yeah,
point,
technically, yeah.
there's no organizations or guilds or oh god, what was that word that you hate? Unions.
Yeah, that's
or
it.
unions that protects these content creators because this is such a new thing. And so even if this doesn't end up going to court, and even if nothing really ends up coming out of this did start the dialogue of unfair contracts against these content creators, because you have to keep in mind most of these content creators are pretty humble beginning kind of people. They probably live in like a lower to middle class. They don't really know anything about contracts. They're uninformed or undereducated, and they don't really know what to do. So someone comes in, sweet talks them, saying like, "Oh, you're gonna make so much money, kid. You're gonna do great." They are like, yeah, sure, whatever, screw it, I'll sign it. But here you are, a little over a year later, and you feel like you've outgrown this organization, but you have signed a 3.5-year contract.
That's true.
So
Well,
you can't
that's
get out of it.
it's kind of
So
slippery
yeah,
slope.
and we can get into the discussion.
slippery
We can
slope.
get into a discussion about it later. I feel like you guys have already kind of decided where you stand on it. And the basic thing being you signed a contract. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're SOL, kid. You signed a contract. But Tfue actually did respond on the 23rd, yesterday, with his short little video, and he wanted to go into a little bit more detail about it, where he defended his point again, where he's saying that the point of the lawsuit was not the money that that they're supposedly taking out from his competitions or his streams, but the money that they're taking out from his endorsements and that clause that allows them to take 80% of his endorsements deal. Which, by the way, FaZe Banks has said that they have just not collected on that deal. But
interesting. Not collected.
just not collected on that deal because we're bros and we just never did that to him. It's like, yeah, but it's in the contract. It's still a red flag.
Yeah.
And so Tfue goes on to say in his little response video yesterday, he did want to clarify about the whole being pressured thing, about being pressured to drink, being pressured to gamble, and do like jackass style stunts. he did want to say that he told his lawyer to remove that from the lawsuit, and he is planning on removing that from the lawsuit. So that's a non-issue at this point.
All right.
But he did pressure FaZe Clan to release the contract to the public. He's saying that, like, if you guys are so sure that I'm in the wrong, then release the contract. And his own very emotionally charged response, full of cuss words, because these guys are very eloquent people.
Of course.
Of course, yeah, they're gamers. Yeah, there's a lot of F-bombs being thrown around. And so he's like, just release the effing contract, dude. It'll let the world see to the public. And FaZe Clan responds basically that same day. It's like, we are going to do just that. And so here we are. I've heard. I wasn't able to look into it this morning. I've heard that the contract was leaked, but the site that I saw it on was not, a FaZe Clan site. So it's hard to see if that was actually legit. I was too busy this morning to really look into it. So it's possible that the contract is released right now, and we just haven't had a chance to look at it yet. But I think it's more safe to say that it has not been released yet, and we're still on this back and forth between FaZe and Tfue.
What do you think's gonna be the end result? I think Tfue's just screwed. So.
It's really hard to say, honestly. I mean, I feel like, as it stands now, I mean, Tfue doesn't really have a whole lot to stand on, because he did sign the contract. He did sign that. Unless he can prove that they literally pressured him to sign the contract, he doesn't really have a whole lot that he can do to maneuver out of it. But we have seen crazier things happen.
Yeah.
I mean, and now that the public is involved, and now that now that, and especially the public is kind of painting the picture as Tfue to be kind of the good guy, it could go that way. The lawsuit could go through, and he could get out of it. And what Tfue basically wants is he wants out of the contract, and he wants to get paid for damages. That's what he wants.
I almost think it's better to let that happen, just to get rid of the PR, get rid of the noise.
Right, but FaZe doesn't want to get him out of the contract. FaZe has been trying to keep him into the contract by renegotiating it, by offering him salary, by offering him a 7-figure yearly salary, by saying that they'll take like a no money on the split, they'll take a 0% from all this from every source, which that sounds like bullcrap, because that came from Banks themselves. I'm like, why would you even sign a contract if you're not getting money out of it at all? And so.
We'll have to.
Yeah, here we are.
We'll have to see. What do you think, Sig? You think he's screwed?
I think this topic is boring.
You think this topic is boring?
This is dumb.
This is what everyone's talking about right now, dude. This is
because they're gamers. I mean, this is lawyer battles, contract negotiations. This has been happening since the beginning of contracts. Like, that's the point of a contract. And if you don't like it, you try to get out of it.
All right. So with your superior
Not superior.
with your superior experience with contracts,
There's only two ways out of this. Either he waits for the contract to expire, or he proves breach of contract on behalf of FaZe, or he proves that there are items that are unenforceable by law. Like, for example, if they're not allowed to be an agency. Those are the only three ways.
I think that's probably
short of that. He's stuck. It's a 3.5-year deal, dude.
And it's probably his biggest.
At the time when you signed a contract, you were flipping burgers or do whatever shitty job you were doing. You had the ability. This platform gave you the ability to get exposure, to be advertised, and it gave you the vehicle to get into these mega endorsements, dude. It's 3.5 years. Man it out.
It's not like you're doing something you don't like.
Right. Look, those are the only three ways out of it: breach of contract on behalf of FaZe, or prove that specific line items are basically they were unlawful. If you need, for example, if I had a contract with you to give you a real estate commission, but you're not a real estate agent, which is a regulated profession, then that's an unenforceable contract term. I can get in trouble for that. Does that make sense? Save for those three, he's not getting out of it. This is boring. Next topic. Seriously.
I agree.
It just sounds like a crying child. I want out of this contract. Let's get the jury of public opinion on my side. Well, it doesn't matter what the jury public opinion says. It matters what the judge and the jury say, and those are the only 3 A's out of the contract.
Well, I mean, if he was right,
was a lot of-
if he's right about the or if Tfue's lawyer is right about the supposed illegal acting as an agent, then I think he does have something to stand on, and I think that might be his foot in the door to actually get what he needs.
And if that's the case, then this whole story is even shorter than we thought.
It's even shorter than we thought.
Next topic.
I guess it goes into discussion and say, would Tfue be where he is right now without FaZe?
Yes.
And I think he would have.
Yeah, but it would have take out FaZe, put in Cloud9, and somebody else would have been trying to screw him. Because frankly, at that time, his potential is real. His potential was good, but everybody's got potential. You don't know who's going to pan out. How many people does FaZe have in their stable, and are they all
Like as
Tfue?
good as Tfue?
Exactly.
No.
You don't know. At the time, you're kind of rolling the dice on people. He's another dice that was rolled, and this one happened to work out. Now he thinks, well, I didn't like the deal. Well, you know what? I got 100 other people that I rolled the dice on. You were all equal in my eyes. You happen to be the one to work out. You got to subsidize the other 99 because
That's just how it works.
that's how it works. Like not everybody in my stable is going to be as good as you. So the good ones, you got to pay for the bad ones so we can keep rolling the dice on new up-and-comer gamers. So all you up-and-comers that are on Tfue's side, you need his money to bankroll you to get to the next level. So look at it from a business standpoint a little bit. I mean,
You're asking gamers to look at a bigger picture? You're crazy, dude.
this is only a story for gamers because it's in their world now. Like, but it's not new. Like contract.
No, of
Yeah.
course it's not.
Yeah,
It's
contract
not new.
renegotiations and lawyer battles is
I
not new.
think that's probably the biggest takeaway from this story is that that it is a new thing in the sphere of gaming,
Because there's money in it now.
because now that there's now esports.
Nothing's ever serious until money's
Esports
involved.
is in the past. I mean, within the past decade, esports has shown itself to be one of the most lucrative businesses in the world right now.
Yep.
And
That's true.
especially for someone like just a no-name kid from who cares California, coming in from who cares Central California coming in and starting to make millions. I mean it's so. This is I think this was a dialogue that needed to happen, and now that it is happening, we might be seeing more things down the road with people trying to get out of their supposed contracts with their organizations or
We'll see.
agencies.
Let's make it juicier. I would be shocked if the courts rule something and make a special exception for video game streamers. I would be shocked if they did that.
In terms
They'll
of
just throw
Right.
them under the umbrella of
Yeah,
artists, man.
if they basically make a special exception or clause specifically for this industry, I would be shocked because I don't see anything unique right now, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's also part of the point is that there's not unique. They are artists and they deserve the same type of protection that an artist or actor or singer or performer, whatever, deserves when they are signing contracts,
Yes.
because there
Okay.
are certain protections
Sure.
for those types of people. So,
Right.
But here we are. That's the story so far. When we get more information on it, we'll definitely talk more about it. If this goes to court, we will definitely talk more about it.
But you know,
Are they going to stream the court trial on Twitch?
Hey, what's up, guys? Here we are at the California Law Office.
That's a game changer right there.
But you know who else is not having really good times with legal battles? Riot Games.
Riot Games.
Riot Games.
So what's up with Riot Games?
Riot Games. We talked about this last week. I'm just gonna update this real quick. So, update on the Riot Games employee walkout story. Riot employees that held a walkout earlier this month are now taking further action against Riot Games. Now, just to remind everybody, they're doing this action because they have forced arbitration in their contract and they don't want that, so they're walking out because of that. That's the story. Now, we have a quote here from, who did I pull this from? The Verge. Thank you, The Verge.
Thank you, The Verge.
Now, this is a quote from one of the organizers at Riot here. It says, quote, "Now, walkout organizers intend to push the issue further by petitioning employees and presenting their arguments to the company's board of directors." So basically, they're banking on a bunch of employees joining them, going to the board of directors and saying, we don't like forced arbitration, please take this out. So that's now the situation. Will this pan out? Absolutely not. Of course not. Will anything come of this? No.
Seem pretty decided already.
No. It's just a stunt, man. It's just a show.
You can tell the future.
No, but I can guess.
You can guess with.
What do you guys think about
mere
that story?
accuracy.
Board of directors, you think that'll do anything for them?
If they're feeling in a good mood, if they got lucky that morning.
Yeah, they got laid last night.
Yeah,
They're like,
they got
"Yeah,
laid,
it's all
they're
right today.
Okay, fine. You want to just go straight to court? That's on you. I was,
It's like, sure, we'll just buy you out of court anyway,
Yeah.
so
It
whatever.
could behoove,
Lawyer up, baby.
It could behoove Riot Games. I mean, since the public is now involved in the story, I mean, if Riot Games decides to go ahead and remove the forced arbitration, then it would probably make them look very favorably in the public eye.
Maybe.
And so
We'll
it may
see.
be worth
Maybe that's a good
that.
choice,
Hey,
but-
Riot Games will be seen as, they're the good guy developers, man. They're the good guys.
Yeah, we're the good guys.
We're
Let's
the
push
good
all those
guys, yeah.
sexual harassment and stuff under the rug. We don't need to talk about that.
We're a giant multi-million-dollar organization that's on your side.
We'll see.
So-
We'll update the story in the future, but we'll see what happens.
That's where we're at right now with the Riot Games walkout.
Today would have been a good day. Did they do this today?
Walkout?
You know, like the day right before a 3-day weekend. Everybody's kind of in a good mood.
All right, guys, we're gonna have the walkout on
You got
Friday.
Memorial-
We gotta do all Friday, like 3 o'clock.
3
Everyone's
o'clock.
after lunch. They're kind of tired.
And the CEO's he's on his way to
1 o'clock
jump on
after
his
lunch.
plane.
We're just gonna go straight to walkout.
That's
It's like,
funny.
yeah, sure, go ahead, take it off of there. You're good.
We're gonna walk out. People are cutting out early.
But
like,
we'll
walking
see
out
what
for 2
happens.
hours.
So we're gonna move on to our next news story here.
Sony.
Sony shows off PS5 loading times. We've talked about this before earlier, but a little bit more in depth this time. This comes to us
This is
from
super neat.
Kotaku here.
This is neat.
So there was an internal meeting that Sony had with their investors, basically saying like, "Hey, this is what our plan is for the next few years," and they said, this actually comes from a Wall Street Journal. Takashi Mochizuki, I think I said that right.
Sounds right.
Sounds okay.
Takashi.
Shared a video of this presentation, and in the video it shows PS4 Pro loading up a scene in Spider-Man. Takes about 8 seconds, and it shows the next generation system. They don't say PS5, by the way, but I mean,
Yeah.
What-
What else are
what's
they
it?
gonna call it?
What's it gonna be?
PlayStation 1.
PlayStation.
PlayStation X 1.
Just PlayStation, dude.
It might not even
Just
be called
PlayStation.
PlayStation Infinite.
PlayStation Infinite.
It may not-
PlayStation.
It may not even be PlayStation.
It has to be PlayStation,
PlayStation
5, dude.
Galaxy.
It has to be PlayStation.
I say that
5.
because of the next bullet point.
But basically, they showed the two comparisons, and the next-gen system loaded the same scene in 0.8 seconds, and the PS4 Pro loaded it in 8 seconds. So that's
And they just kept doing it.
yeah, that's a pretty substantial power increase.
That's insane.
So we'll see what happens. And they also showed the city, Spider-Man swinging through the city at super high speed, and it showed the PS4. It was like stuttering, it was jittering. The next-gen system, smooth as butter, right through. So that's really cool. That's
like
really
butter.
cool. They also mentioned leveraging backwards compatibility to make the transition seamless and immersive are the two buzzwords everyone likes to use nowadays. Is that why you think it'll just be called something else, not PlayStation 5?
you skipped the second bullet point that Sony says that PS4 will continue to generate most of the sales for the next 3
Oh, I did accidentally
years.
skip that, yes.
The next 3 years.
Think about that.
So
Yo,
PS4, even though we're going to next gen systems, Sony is claiming that their PS4 will generate the majority of their sales
That
for
makes
the next
sense.
3
That makes
years.
total sense.
let that marinate for a minute.
I mean, okay, I guess it kind of makes sense because when a next gen console is released, they don't automatically stop support for.
How many of
the
you guys
previous
are
gen
going to get a
console.
PS5 on day one? I will be getting one, most likely. Most likely.
On day one, it depends. It depends what games I feel like playing, I guess.
If they have a good launch title, will you get it day one?
If I have a launch title I'm interested in, will I get it day one? Probably, yes.
Okay, how many people do you think are going to get a next-gen system day one? Not many.
Probably only the ones that can afford it, so I'm saying about
many.
10 to 20%.
Okay, so
Other
what do you
people
do
who
with the
want it.
rest? You gotta really hope PS4
You keep PS4 going. You keep PS4 alive, and that's exactly what happened last time. So when the Xbox One was released, the Xbox 360 didn't just die that night. Xbox 360 still got all the next gen games that
Yep.
were coming, just a little bit downgraded so they can run on the
I'm not.
360.
Yeah, there's a big difference between, cutting its lifeline and just letting that console die versus saying that it will generate most of the sales for the next 3 years.
Well, that might only be a prediction.
So are you
based off
maybe
of the
maybe
people
you're
who can
reading this
afford it,
differently than
though.
I am? What are you taking out of it? Maybe I'm
I
seeing it a
think-
little differently.
I think this is going to be a different device. I think it's not just going to be games. I think it might not even be called PlayStation anymore. I think it's going to be very expensive. I think it's going to be more of
like an all-in-one entertainment system.
closer to a workstation, closer to a computer than a console only. It's going to be expensive. That's the only way that PS4... Dude, Christmas time is coming up. For the next 3 Christmases, you're going to tell me that people are going to buy a PS4 over this next-gen Sony? The only way it's going to happen is if it's super expensive.
I
People
think so.
People
I
wait.
think might.
People
They
wait a
might.
year.
People will wait
So
for
people
it.
were buying Xbox 360s
Yeah.
3 Christmases after Xbox One came out?
Especially after Xbox One came out, because the 360 is now cheaper.
Really?
And I feel like
not everyone jumps on the next
Yeah.
gen train
Okay.
immediately.
some people were behind, in
Where's the other
terms of
bullet point that I
generations.
have
I mean,
here?
some people may not have a PS4. Maybe they have the old model of the PS4 and not the upgraded, slimmer, sexier version like I do.
Okay.
Or they maybe at this point they may be trying to go get their hands on that one.
Well, most
And
likely
now
that's
it's
right.
More, it's more priced.
I mean,
So
And plus
PS5 is probably most likely. I was trying to freestyle, think outside the box. I think it'd be cool to see something new, different, exciting, and not even call it PlayStation anymore. Something,
Right.
But I think it's interesting that PS4 will continue for the next 3 years, because later in that meeting they said, I didn't write this bullet point, I should have, but they said the next big 3 titles, Sony exclusive titles, will release on PS4. So that'll keep its life going. Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2, and Death Stranding
Right.
will release on PS4. So that will keep it going past the next gen launch as well.
Yeah. I get it.
So I think it's definitely a good strategy, and I don't know, it made the hype for PS5, rise a little bit. People are like, oh, okay, all right, it's looking good, looking powerful. We'll see.
I like this news. I
This
I
is
think
cool
we're
news.
closer to you buying me lunch for our bet. It's not going to be.
It's
It's
gonna
not
be
gonna be-
$500. It's gonna be
500 or less.
501.
Yeah, it's going to be at least 501. It'll be at
I
least
still
501.
stand by $500. I still stand by 500 and below.
yeah, I would probably see more like that.
Then this next thing you put on
yeah,
here.
so little interesting tidbit. So DreamHack Valencia.
Where is that? What country is that in?
Spain.
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 España.
It's not like in Florida.
Yeah.
There
Isn't actually I think there is a Valencia.
is a Valencia.
Yeah, there is a
Valencia College.
yeah. there is a
DreamHack of Valencia College.
Yeah, Valencia College. Yeah, they're just like everyone's just.
They just rent out the gym.
They're just like in the gym in the cafeteria or something. Yeah. So DreamHack Valencia will feature the first ever all females esports tournament. They will be playing CS:GO. This is the first time that this has happened.
Okay.
Now women are in esports. They are a little far and few between, but they are in esports. Like Eric was saying earlier, that there were some gamers or some pro gamers that were women, and they were at the DreamHack in Atlanta that we went to last fall. So,
Do you think this will improve women's standing in esports, or how do you think this will go? What's your prediction?
It's hard to say.
Sig, you got a big old grin on your
It's hard
face.
to
Why's
say.
that?
It's hard
I
to
don't
say, and let me just
I don't
go. Let me just venture forth and say that, female gamers have had the stigma of not being as good as male gamers, and so I feel like it kind of hurts their point to have a separate league for women if they're trying to prove that they are not any less good than a man. So I feel like in
I
that
agree with
sense,
that point.
it does kind of hurt their.
That's
hurt
most
their
of where I
point.
come from. Is that?
And that does make sense to me. But I mean, maybe there's something else in the bigger picture that I'm not seeing. And there's been this stigma against women in esports for a while now. And I remember a story, I think like last year, where
we talked about this.
Yeah, we actually did talk about this. Probably one of the very, very early episodes, probably less than episode 10, where there was up and coming pro Overwatch player who was a woman and doing like super good, and then it started creating this discussion where it's like, oh dude, there's no way this is a girl, like they're way too good. And that gamer actually got scouted to play competitively for a team on Overwatch. And then the reason that the story got really bad is because it actually wasn't a woman, and it was a man pretending to be a woman
Ooh,
the
couldn't have
whole
seen that.
time.
And so that really ruffled some feathers, because at that point the people who were saying that, oh, there's no way that's a girl, kind of just sitting back smugly like, yeah, I told you it's not a girl.
I was right.
So, but that just kind of created more friction against the genders in gaming.
Yeah, but we'll see. Maybe maybe if this one's successful, they'll do another one at another DreamHack, and then
Yeah.
maybe DreamHack will be known as
So-
like, oh, they started this thing.
So, I mean, maybe this will be a more common thing where we actually start seeing a separation of genders in esports. It just kind of seems a strange thing. I mean, a separation of genders in something like, track or I don't know, football or soccer or whatever like that is because, I mean,
It just is.
physically,
Yeah.
men and women have different physical ability. They're just not on the same level. They are different. They are physiologically differently composed.
Sexist pig.
Which may sound sexist, saying like, "Oh, one is superior to another," but I mean, it's biology.
True.
So how does this translate into gaming? I mean, do men have faster reaction times, or is this all just a way of empowering the women by allowing them to have their own no boys allowed kind of?
We'll
league?
see. We'll
So-
see if it catches.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it catches, we could potentially be seeing a lot more of this in basically every game, not just CS:GO at DreamHack. But if this does become a thing, our boys over there at DreamHack, our boys at High Res, they did start this whole thing. So,
Good work.
well, I hate to keep saying it again, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, we'll see where it
I
goes.
feel like we say that a lot. But
It's. I mean, it's
when
updated
it comes,
news,
yeah,
man.
when it's updating, so it's like, I mean, we'll see where it goes. What do you want me to say?
What do you think?
What do you think?
What do you think it'll be a success?
Temporarily.
Long term.
No.
Long term.
Yes. Yes. I don't feel like something.
Oh, what about
I
your
don't feel like
opinion?
it would die out that easily.
My opinion, yeah, I think it will. We'll continue to see them. It won't get the same ratings as the males competitions, but girls will want to play with girls.
Right. And I feel like a female gamer, they would probably tend to gravitate towards an all females competition.
True.
Yeah.
Well,
So
all right. We'll talk about it more as it goes.
yeah, we'll talk about more when
Then,
we hear more.
quickly, I'll mention that there is a bipartisan bill presented to Congress. I think it was presented yesterday, actually.
I did see that.
To ban loot boxes in games that
To
sell to
minors?
minors, which is all games almost.
Which is
so,
I mean, a fair.
which is
thing.
like every game almost.
That's a fair thing. I mean, because
So basically,
wow, so they could slap an MA tag on there and start and offer loot boxes.
yeah.
Cool. That's a nice little.
yeah, it's a nice little loophole, I
yeah,
guess.
that's a nice little loophole.
But in that sense, it's your fault as a parent for allowing them to play a game that is specifically rated for 18 and up. Oh, is it 18 and up or 17 and up?
17.
Specifically rated for 17 and up. So,
Yeah.
at
So
that
this-
point, the blame is not on them anymore. Who cares? It's
That's
your
true.
fault.
Right.
This bill was presented by Republican Senator. I don't know. I forget who it was. Sorry. But this has gained traction, and it got presented to Congress yesterday. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what
maybe
happens.
this will scare EA to not do FIFA Ultimate Team anymore.
to
You
not
think it'll
do
pass?
that kind of stuff anymore.
Do I think it'll pass? Yes.
You think it'll pass?
Probably, yeah.
I agree.
I think so.
Yes, I think it
Next
will.
topic.
Hey, unless,
Because do it for the kids. Do it for the kids.
Unless
oh,
unless,
you're against something for the kids? How dare you?
unless
Yep.
some very very big and powerful publishers are able
Start
to
lobbying.
sway or lobby in a certain other
They're-
direction.
they
They
will
already
do it.
did. They
They'll
already
try.
did.
What do you
To
mean?
minors. That was them.
What do you
That was
mean?
that.
No, I'm saying lobbying against the bill being passed.
No, the lobbyists were able to massage the bill to say to minors, so they have a loophole now. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
Yeah, but this does affect a lot of the games because you're not going to put a rated M rating.
well,
on
I feel
FIFA.
like minors
So-
are the target anyways because I mean
I don't know
you-
that.
you-
I don't completely agree with that because of GTA 5, it being the biggest game, and that's an MA.
No. You're missing my point. My point is that because this is like you can't change a game that's geared for kids and put an M rating on it. You'll sell less copies. You'll hurt yourself.
But still a lot.
Like no one's gonna put M rated on Fortnite when there's no blood or
Like
sex
if
or-
you make FIFA
or-
rated M,
violence.
it's gonna sell less.
Because
I don't agree with that.
there actually
No?
are the
Okay.
parents
I
that
don't
care
agree.
though.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I
you
mean-
wouldn't buy an
Okay,
M-rated
hold on,
game
hold on.
arcade.
In fairness, yes, it would sell less, but I think that they can overlook that.
You think they overlook that?
They'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, it's soccer. Rated
I-
M. Why
I
is it
feel
rated
like-
M? That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
this might not
Okay.
even create that big of a change because there
Correct.
are a lot of parents who buy M-rated games
Right.
for.
That's true.
There
That's what I'm
are a
saying.
lot of parents who buy M-rated games for their
Yeah,
kids.
that's true.
So what I'm saying is, yes, yeah, it'll affect the numbers, but it'll be so inconsequential.
Oh, that's true. Because
That
the loot
this
boxes
made the
will just
lobbyists
make more,
happy. Like,
so-
oh, okay, we just gotta put M. Oh, no big deal. All right, cool.
That's
Everybody's
true.
happy.
But, you know,
That's true.
Senators look
at that
good.
point,
We
it's
still
your-
make
it's
money.
your
We
fault.
good.
But I mean, I can see the whole point of it. I mean, minors are the biggest target. I mean, you've seen how crazy Cade gets over about some Fortnite
Yes.
skins. I mean, he loses it,
Yes.
and
True.
that's the big thing right now. It's a skin. It doesn't do anything for him. It just
Yep.
looks cool.
Yep.
So
All right, so we got a bunch of rapid fire news, or we could go over the deals and the rumors. What do you guys want to do?
I think we might have time to do it all if we go through it lickety split quick. All right, go ahead. You
All right.
start.
Okay. Sony starts PlayStation Productions. If you guys don't know, PlayStation Productions is a subset of Sony that focuses on bringing the gaming IPs to film and TV. I mean, that's a cool concept. And the rumor is that their debut project is going to be a Twisted Metal TV series, which
That
I would watch.
is
Which I would
interesting.
totally watch.
That is very
Would
interesting.
you watch that, Sig?
Maybe.
I would watch that. Yeah, dude. That sounds super weird.
I think what I've heard is supposed to be kind of like a mockumentary where it's like, oh, average people have to get in like the cars of Twisted Metal and then do the stuff in the game, like
Also,
something.
it'll be driven by.
Wait, so this is like
Yeah.
a reality show or something? Like,
I don't
almost like a
think
game
it'll be,
show?
No, not like no. It's a serious TV show, but in the style of like
Okay.
kind of like Death Race, but Twisted Metal.
Okay, so
Ish.
it's like it's not. It's not gonna like take itself too seriously.
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
Which would
I mean,
be fun to
that's,
watch. So.
That's kind of the point of Twisted Metal in the first place. I mean, the main character for Twisted Metal is a
It's
serial
Sweet
killer
Tooth.
clown with a fiery head. Like,
That's true.
yeah. So there's not a whole lot to be. There's not a whole lot of depth to be taken from Twisted Metal. So I can see it that being that kind of a show. Yeah.
I mean, I'll check it out. We'll see. Hopefully, if they do well there, maybe they'll bring other IPs. That'd be
I'll
cool.
definitely watch that. I'm definitely watching that. I'm
But,
so excited for some of these things coming out, dude. We got Dragon's Dogma anime, and we got the Twisted Metal thing, and we have The Witcher. I'm super
Oof.
stoked.
Good year of
Anyway,
entertainment.
good year for gaming and
Alright,
stuff.
let's move to the next
Moving on. Epic will flag your account as possible fraud if you buy too many games too fast.
This is true. This is by Kotaku. This is true.
So, I guess this is a security measure to make sure that nobody is purchasing a bunch of crap on behalf of you.
Yes.
But if you are sane and doing it on purpose, you could potentially screw yourself.
So
a
they
little
said,
bit.
they said if that happens to you, just contact Epic and be like, hey, like, I'm me.
I mean,
Like,
because there is that sale right now, man. I mean, maybe you have like a extra $100, $200, and you're just gonna like blow it all on some Epic
Yeah.
games. I mean,
That's true.
It's a sale. It's
And the next thing I really want to talk about is very interesting.
Which means somebody's done that already.
Yeah, someone has
Yeah.
done that.
Someone has done that. Someone's literally bought so many games in a short amount of time that there was like, this is gonna be fake, right? This isn't real.
Then I know you guys are a fan of World War Z, saying it's really good.
Yep.
Saber Interactive, the studio behind that game, approached Valve directly. Actually, Gabe Newell, the creator of Valve himself, offering to remaster Half-Life 2 for the current generation, and only says he will charge enough to recoup development costs.
Really?
And
So this
Valve,
is a deal.
Valve straight up turned him down and was said Valve declined, saying any form of Half-Life will be handled internally. So they just said no.
He said no.
At least use that engine, that zombie engine for
this,
500
this is a
zombies.
whole.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a whole.
At least.
I mean, Saber Interactive.
That's such a good deal.
That's
That
a-
is
that's-
such a good deal.
That's such a point. I mean, that's literally just like a labor of love. They
Yeah, they said it's a labor of
genuinely
love.
want Half-Life to be remastered, not to make a profit off of it, just to remaster it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. So
But
little fun tidbit for you guys.
Steam doesn't like their assets being handled by anybody else but Steam.
That's true. Oh, we talked about you talked about Dauntless earlier today.
Yeah,
full,
so-
full crossplay, full cross
so,
progression. Very
yeah,
cool.
really
all
cool game.
systems. All systems.
All systems right now, except for the Switch. Until further notice, Switch is being
and
worked
mobile.
on.
Because
Is that arrogant?
Come on.
Switch being worked on.
What?
On behalf of Valve?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you mean on behalf of Valve?
In regards to Saber Interactive's offer to Valve,
It's arrogant for them to decline.
is it as arrogant for?
I think it's a little prideful.
it might be a little. I mean, Half-Life is such an old game at this point.
I mean, Half-Life 3 is never gonna happen.
I
first
mean,
of all,
there's.
so.
I mean, we're at this point where a whole generation of gamers has never even played Half-Life.
Yeah. Can you imagine, like, what the biggest news story of the year? This is actually a quote from. Where did I hear this from? I think it was Gary Whitta. He's really cool. Follow him. He said, if they drop an Orange Box 2, it'll be the biggest news story of the year. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Everyone's like, Half-Life 3 confirmed? What?
Like, what if they did that, dude? Orange Box 2, Half-Life 3, Team Fortress 3, all the sequels to all the stuff in the
Oh my
original Orange Box,
God.
people would
Dude,
lose their mind.
Yeah, dude. I mean, people have been pressuring Steam to do this stuff for.
But it'll never happen, so.
For probably forever since the literal dawn of time.
But yeah, if you're interested in Dauntless, check it out. We'll be
Yeah.
playing. I'll be playing this weekend, actually, for sure.
Yeah. Please check out Dauntless. It released on Tuesday. Free to play. Cross-play, cross-progression.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Good
Try
stuff.
it out.
All right, next little tidbit is God of War has sold over 10 million copies. Good job, Sony Santa Monica.
Woo!
Woo!
All right.
Good stuff. Next thing. That's the whole story.
That's the thing. It's rapid fire news. Get over it.
Just Cause movie is in the works and is being helmed by the John Wick creator. So that
Okay.
sounds like it could be really cool.
So it's gonna be kind of like Mission Impossible.
Yeah, but like just
But, like,
crazy explosions and everything.
it'll be a little
It'll be
different.
cool. It'll be a fun watch. Then something near and dear to our hearts here is Code Vein live stream on May 31st from 4 to 5 Pacific or 7 to 8 Eastern, hosted by Bandai Namco. So if you're interested in the game, tune into the live stream. I'm sure they'll be telling you a whole bunch of details. I'll be watching it.
It's looking good.
And then actually
will
something
not.
very funny.
I will be on a cruise that day.
Very funny that happened. So you might actually pull this up so we can show everybody that's watching here.
Okay.
Playdate, a new black and white handheld gaming console, is slated for 2020 with a crank.
Like
It has a crank
like
on
to
it.
power it.
No,
Oh.
to play.
Okay.
So basically, if you look at the images that are up there, it's tiny too. It's really small. Like, look how small that thing is.
What the hell is?
So
that?
basically, it's like a smaller Game Boy-ish type of thing, and there's a crank, and some of the games some of the movement requires you to use the
I guess
crank
if
to
it's
move
like a
the character.
fishing game or something.
Something like that.
It honestly just looks like a knockoff Game Boy Color.
Yeah. So it's like it's super limited.
But
Guess how
doesn't
much
even-
this thing costs?
Doesn't have color. $15.
Ha ha! No.
300.
Lower.
200.
Closer.
150.
150.
What?
Would you guys pay $150 for that thing?
No. Look at that.
It's not even color. Yo.
It comes
That's
with
what
it
a
comes
color.
With, it comes with 12 games, and they will be released per week, so one per week.
Not even color, dude.
And you get the games. You get the games indefinitely.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, you get the free games as they get released.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
But we are.
why would you what?
No subscription?
Who's gonna buy this?
No subscription.
Yeah, dude. We're.
I don't think so.
It's
I'm not super sure how it works,
What a
but that's
novel idea.
what they said. That's what
I
they
mean,
said.
they're
And they're secretive games.
they're
They
really
don't
trying
announce
it.
the titles.
They're really trying, I guess. I mean, they're trying to.
It's like a fun, whimsical little thing.
I mean, I feel like people would buy that. It's
For
it's
like
a
$20
neat little thing to have, but not more than $50.
Dude,
I mean,
150, man.
$150. I mean, it's not even it's not even in color, dude. It's 2019. We're like almost 20 years into the new millennia. Like what?
Yo, that thing is missing like a keychain hole.
Yeah, honestly.
It could be like the old Tamagotchi. What are those pet little?
Yeah, the little Tamagotchi thing.
Is that-
yeah,
that's right,
yeah,
Tamagotchi.
yeah.
So it's a little novelty item. I would never buy this ever. So I don't know if you're interested.
Look at in the hand of somebody.
That's very funny.
Soldier Boy cracked that.
Soldier Boy.
That's really
Cricket.
funny.
Nice.
All right, so we're gonna move on to our next section right
There's
here.
that game, I guess.
Called
Whatever.
Upcoming Releases and Deals, and we're not going to list all these deals for you, but Amazon is having a Memorial Day sale on games, and some of them we will shout out, as well as Google Express, so definitely check out that for some good games. Some highlights would be like God of War is $30 for PlayStation, Devil May Cry 5 is $40, that's really good. Nier Automata is $30, Game of the Year, really good.
Monster Hunter World is cheap.
Monster Hunter World's $18. For Nintendo, you got Breath of the Wild. It's only $50. It's really not much of a discount there.
$10 off, dude.
They don't. No, dude. Nintendo doesn't do discounts very well.
Xbox has got some good deals. We got Grand Theft Auto 5 is $15, man. That's good right there. Kingdom Hearts 3 is
still the
$30.
cheapest you'll get it, like-
Red Dead 2 $35. And Tom Clancy Division 2 $45. But if you look on Google Express, you can get it for $35.
Yeah,
So
the Division 2 is cheap right now, and it
So-
just came out.
jump onto that. And then we got Xbox Game Pass, new games coming. We got Metal Gear Survive May 23rd. Don't play that.
Whack.
Never, ever, ever play that.
Whack, waste your time. Don't
Literally
download
never
it.
play that.
Don't even waste your
The
space.
Bannersaga 1.
Don't know what that
Void
is.
Bastards. Looks very cool, actually. Check that out. I'd recommend it. Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds.
Don't really know anything about that. Dead
Not
by
Outer
Daylight.
Wilds.
Cool. Full Metal Furies, not furries,
Not
as I
not
thought it was the
furries.
first time I read it.
Full Metal Furries. You're like,
The Banner Saga 2, and then Super Hot, which is very, very fun.
Super Hot's cool, yeah. If you are a
Okay, I think that's to you, Sig.
Yeah.
Okay. Then PS Plus members can enjoy a double discount deal. So if you're a PS Plus member, there's a sale going on, and you get double the discounts.
even more discounts.
So sweet. And then little shout out, popular MMO DC Universe Online. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that game. Comes to the Switch this summer. So if you guys are fans of DC UO, play that game.
I'm not a fan of it, but
I mean, basically you
I'll
just
do
choose
it.
you just choose like a hero in the DC universe, and like you run around do MMO stuff.
you do like yeah, but you're like a superhero.
Yeah, I
Marvel
looked
should
into it.
just buy DC. What do you think?
No,
They're
no,
Or Disney should just buy DC. What do
they're
you
like
think?
No.
direct competitors.
Yeah, well,
they're direct. It's like Microsoft buying Sony. It like won't happen.
I mean, I feel like Disney could buy DC.
yeah, I think so too.
DC is so much better.
Think
though.
about those crossovers.
DC's
dude.
not better.
I like
Sick
DC
crossovers.
better. I think DC is better villains.
Disney should buy DC.
I do like DC's villains actually. I like Deathstroke.
Nah,
DC's
dude.
villains against Marvel's heroes. That'd be sick.
Dude, DC's villains would destroy them, dude. They'd be like, listen, we're getting our stuff done. We're not dealing with this stuff, okay? We're just gonna kill you and move on. Like,
Yeah. Does DC villains have to stand up to Superman, who's literally like the most OP character in all of
literally.
fiction ever? He has literally
Against an Infinity Gauntleted Thanos. Come on, that's pretty
Yeah.
strong, dude.
No.
Doomsday versus Infinity Gauntlet Thanos.
All right. Well,
Come on, dude.
Doomsday would probably lose. I'm guessing. I don't know. I mean, with Doom.
We'll see.
I'm just saying it's.
Well, we've been
That'd be
getting
cool.
Yo,
we've been
Disney,
getting-
buy DC.
We've been
please.
getting into too much stuff, but basically,
Please.
Doomsday. Every time Doomsday dies, he just comes back stronger with a way to counter the way you killed him last time. So,
That's true.
You
That's
know.
true.
but we'll be getting way too much into that.
So we
crap.
got about
Rumors.
5-ish.
We got too much stuff to talk about.
Let's
Let's go.
We do have some
King
rumors.
C, Doomsday's whack. See, Doomsday's whack, dude.
Doomsday is whack.
We got some rumors here. We got Watch Dogs 3 details have been leaked via Reddit. And this comes from Reddit, and then Push Square reported on it via Reddit. So I'm not going to go over all these, but there's some pretty interesting ones in here. We got it's going to take place in London, like we said. So that's a little check mark right there. Basically, you're going to take down a hacker group from the inside. That sounds pretty cool. You're going to play as a woman.
Okay.
I mean, whatever. Like, as long as the story is cool, who gives a shit. She's going to be half English and half Asian. I'm sure that's probably important because it takes place in London. That might be something interesting.
That's somebody's fetish.
Sure. Yeah. There'll be some side missions in there, and no lethal weapons, actually. So only taters and batons. So you're going to do a lot more hacking, a lot more software type of stuff.
Whack. Move on.
So we'll see.
You can't kill anybody. Move on.
If you're interested in Watch Dogs, check it out. And then this comes to us from Green Man Gaming, this next one, and our boy Johnny Breck let me know about this one right here.
Johnny Rick.
There have been some fiery Final
Final Fantasy
Final
VII.
Fantasy Finals.
Final Fantasy.
You guys read this. I'm done talking.
All right,
I'm
so
done talking. All
there
right,
are
I'm
some
done.
fiery Final Fantasy VII remake leaks circulating. This comes to us from Green Man Gaming and first brought to our attention by Johnny Reck. Thank you, Johnny Reck.
Johnny Rick.
So this game is said to be releasing in parts, 2 parts to
You're
be
gonna need to drink some more
specific.
water or
The
something.
combat system has been completely overhauled from the turn-based to be real-time. And from what I've seen, it looks really similar to Final Fantasy 15.
It looks sick.
Which you have, if you have not played, I recommend. It's a good time. Now there is an open world element to the game, different than the last one, which was, I believe, more mission based and more area based, where you just start the mission, you're in an area, you do the thing, and you leave the area. Where this is actually an open world, and it's just like this over map that you kind of go seamlessly to different
Like
areas.
Pokemon, basically.
Yeah, like kind of Pokemon, basically. So it said that part 1 will end after a significant event and fade to black, which
Let's not
basically
say what that event
tells
is.
you nothing. But
I mean, everyone knows what it
anyone
is.
who knows the story of Final Fantasy VII
Everyone
or
knows what it is.
Final
If it's-
Fantasy Advent Children, which is the movie following Final Fantasy VII, can probably guess what this fabled event is. So Lucasfilm reading on skipped. I have dyslexia. I don't.
Sid, give me
actually-
the rest of everything.
The release date for part 1 is November. This year, guys?
November
This year.
This year.
That's pretty soon.
And part 2
Well-
coming shortly after, probably in the
We'll see.
spring of the following year.
Oh yeah,
but
this is a rumor, right? This is a rumor.
this is
Yeah,
a,
this is a
rumor. We know that Final Fantasy VII Remake is a thing, but we don't know when or where it's going to be coming out, and this has seen us a little bit of leak. So we'll see if this is legit or not.
Speaking as a genuine outsider, because I never played Final Fantasy
I have not
VII.
played Final
I
Fantasy
haven't
VII
either,
either.
actually.
For those that
I
have
think just
played
John
it,
and Aaron
it's
has,
been
right?
it's been on a lot. It's on a lot of people's favorite games list.
Oh,
for
yeah.
those that have played it, like I've got
Yeah.
loved ones that have named their children after Final Fantasy
True.
VII characters. So
The girl name is actually pretty nice too. It's like a nice name.
yeah,
Like Aerith or Eris. It's like a nice name.
Oh yeah.
this. Yeah, I'm glad they're.
This is a
remaking
big
it.
deal. I mean,
Yeah.
it's for Final
It's a
Fantasy
huge
fans.
deal.
Final Fantasy VII
I don't know if you
is
guys
like
have. I don't know if you guys saw the reveal at E3. Like I watched the video.
Mhm.
It is wild.
It
Like
looks-
it's like
it
thunder
looks
went off in
really-
that building.
it looks
is
really-
crazy.
They shouldn't hype it too much though, man, because you know.
oh no,
It'll be
they can
like-
hype it as much as they want to,
They might
man.
get too hyped though, dude. Like,
Nah.
Well, we'll
I think they
see.
can hype as much as they want to because I think people are going to eat it up. Just
But-
like Kingdom Hearts, dude.
It's true.
People were
It's
all
true.
over it. They hyped it up and people ate up every morsel.
Yeah, they did. But
Um,
speaking of hype,
Speaking of hype, I'm hyped about this next one. So, From Software and George R.R. Martin.
George Railroad Martin.
Yeah, George R.R. Martin is
what does that R?
is collaborating on a game that may be shown at E3. And now we know that From Software makes our beloved Dark Souls titles, and we know George R.R. Martin makes our beloved Game of Thrones series.
Books, Game of Thrones books.
Books.
Let's
books.
be
I
right
said-
now. Let's
I
separate.
said series. I said series, so it could be either one. I said series. So yeah, because that was his brain baby, and they're collaborating on a game that is supposed to be kind of set in like a medieval kind of setting. The setting is said to be the Norse world, and is to explore the dark legends and lore in,
Nice.
I'm guessing, more. Like
I'm
in
already
Norse
interested. Take my
mythology.
money. Take it.
So I guess we're following along a lot of the kind of stuff that God of War went through with their own
I'm totally
venture
okay
into
with
the
that.
Norse mythology.
Totally okay with that.
And the title is allegedly called Great Rune.
It might be a working title.
Might
so
be a
we'll
working
see.
title. We'll see. That's just what it's allegedly called. I wouldn't be surprised if it has rune in the title somewhere. That's a
Yeah,
pretty,
that's-
that's a pretty buzzy word.
Yeah.
And this is really exciting. I mean, I like George R.R. Martin's storytelling, and I like From Software's games. So I mean, put that stuff together, it's bound to be pretty decent.
Sounds good to me.
Or it could be a raging dumpster fire. It's honestly, it can go either way. 'Cause you know,
He says the game is how many plot dead ends can you make?
how many plot deads can you make?
Well, with From
Don't
Software,
even get
a
me
lot.
started. Don't even get me started. I'm still in pain from Sunday.
Yeah.
By the way, that RR doesn't mean railroad, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Railroad Martin.
Railroad.
Of course it doesn't.
Raymond Richard.
Railroad bar. That sounds like a. Like
I
a
think
drug
I heard
dealer.
that from
Isn't
Inside
that-
Gaming. I think they said it,
Railroad
and I was
Mark.
like, oh,
George
that's funny.
Raymond Richard Martin.
Oh, that sounds
In
actually
case
pretty
you
good.
wanted- in case you wanted to know.
Off topic. Yesterday, I was talking to Great Highlands, and he said we were talking about how Tom Clancy, he's got a lot of games, books, movies.
Yep.
And I've seen his name everywhere. I never really looked up how he looks like. He looks like a CIA guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like someone you don't really want to like mess with.
Yeah, you want to see?
Yeah, pull him up. And as you're pulling that up, we'll read out this last one here.
Was he actually ex-military?
I don't know.
I feel like he.
He looks like
He
he would
prob-
be.
The
I don't know,
amount
he
that he
might
talks
be.
about, I feel like he might be like military. I mean, I guess like warfare is in like all of
He looks like
everything.
he looks like the guy you go to consult of how to like do stuff. Like that looks like that guy.
Yeah, he looks like. Yeah, he just looks like a spy guy or like a CIA guy. Right?
Yeah, I gotta see that. He looked kind of like a retired.
Maybe he was ex-military.
Maybe.
It'd be interesting.
Retired government agent or something like that. Who knows?
But something that is exciting is that Lucasfilm is working on a Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic film.
Nice.
This is a rumor. Now, we don't know if this has to do with D.B. Weiss and David Benioff's next Star Wars trilogy that we know they're working on. We don't know if anything is going together with those.
Mhm.
And we're still not sure if this has to do with the rumor we talked about Knights of the Old Republic becoming a TV show for Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, right?
So we're still not sure. Either way, I would like both of those things.
yeah, I mean,
In case you don't know, Knights of the Republic takes place 4,000 years before Episode 4, Is it 1 or 4?
Wait, talking about before Anakin.
Yeah. Okay, so if it's before 4, it's before 1. So before 1,
no,
I guess, right?
But 1 took place before.
Yeah, so it's
4.
before 1.
So
It's 4,000
before
years
1.
before 1.
Before Obi-Wan went to Tatooine and got Anakin, and they did a pod race, and for no reason.
Before Obi-Wan
whatsoever.
went to this planet, and then
Is
a
that-
kid was born.
And then a kid
How
was
old is
directly
Yoda?
born.
Is that pre-Yoda also?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Is it pre-Yoda? Yeah,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Yoda's supposed to be like a couple hundred years old, so it's definitely pre-Yoda.
It's like way
It's-
back.
It's the old Republic, dog. It's way back there.
By the way, are the lifespans of like the Han Solos and the Anakins, are they like normal human years? Like,
They're human, right?
Yeah.
I
They're
think
human
so.
beings. I'm pretty sure they have the
Like
same.
Han Solo's human, so.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure they have the same.
But that's exciting. I would
And how
love
old
to
is
see
Yoda?
that.
Yoda, I think he was like a couple hundred years old, maybe 500 years
I
old.
think he was like 9.
900 years old.
Oh, I was right.
900 years old is Yoda. I actually found out recently that Chewbacca was like a couple hundred years old when he was in.
That's why they were friends. They were friends.
Yeah,
He was-
that's why he knew him.
he's almost 1,000 years old.
Almost 1,000 years old. Look how old he is, man.
Nice.
He's like a shriveled grape.
He kind of like a young Yoda would look like a green Pichu,
He just looked like a goblin.
That's funny.
right?
He just looked like a goblin.
Yeah, he would look like a goblin.
Basically
No, a
like
young one
goblin.
because he wouldn't be shriveled up. All right, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. I digress. We were getting into some ridiculous
But actually, that's a good time to end because that's all the rumors we have for this
I
show.
have to go to the orthodontist today. I'm not excited.
Oh, not excited.
Not excited. And I will
Oh,
not
man,
be
that's
here.
Right. He had dreads.
I will not be here next Friday, ladies and
He looked
gentlemen.
cool.
Dude, that'd be so cool to. There's so many cool stories to explore.
Why haven't they
man.
done that yet? Like a young Yoda.
Yoda.
Yeah,
Junior Yoda.
Right, what about this?
A
one
young
right
Yoda.
here? Why is this sexually charged picture of young Yoda?
That's.
Yo, people are just some weird
Get that out
crap,
of my face!
dude. People are just some weird crap.
Hold on, let me put this one up though.
He look-
Yo, that's
This one up.
sick,
He does
man.
look like,
Bro,
he looks
this-
like a badass, yeah.
This is a Star Wars I look forward to. Like
It does look pretty
an
badass.
origin story for Yoda.
Dude, Netflix, HBO, Hulu, they should put it on
Sick.
Disney Plus or Hulu, dude. That'd be sick.
Like
Stop giving us this Knights of Old Republic stuff. Give
No,
us,
no, give us the Knights of the Republic. No,
Yes,
give me
yes,
that.
Knights of the Republic. It's a really cool. It's
It's
a really
old.
cool time zone, dude. Come on.
Alright.
All right. Well, we're getting into
Let me get
it.
the music on.
We're
Let me get the
past
music on.
time. We gotta go. I got a dentist appointment to go to.
We got lunch
We
to
gotta eat. We got work to do.
Yep.
So, thank you for stopping by, as always, ladies and gentlemen. Remember to smash them like and subscribe buttons. Be sure to check us out on fpsguides.com. Hopping on the website, we got merchandise, we got videos, we got more videos. Now, at this point, you can check us out on all the following sources. We got YouTube, we got Twitch, we got Apple Play, we got Spotify, we got Amazon's Alexa. You know, tell Alexa to play FPS Guys podcast. She'll probably take you here. And of course, don't forget to check out our Discord. Link is in the description on Twitch. Please hop in there, say hellos, play some games with us. Play Dauntless with me because I have Dauntless now. And yeah, just come in and chat and say hello. But make sure you tell your friends about us. We're almost to our goal. The same progress. We were almost to our goal last week, but we were still almost to our goal.
Almost there.
You know, 13 people who have nothing to do. Tell them to freaking follow us, for Christ's sake.
It's like watching an anime, dude. It's like we're still on this episode.
I'm not
Oh my
asking for
God.
much here, people. It's 13.
Lucky 13 people.
Anyways, wait, what's that? You guys watch ball? What do you mean ball? Like basketball? Like sports? They do. I don't sport.
Yeah, we watch sports. Yes.
Yeah. If that's what you're asking, yes.
I think you mean something else.
If you're gonna elaborate within the next 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta get out of here,
I don't
buddy.
know what to tell you.
If you follow us, we'll answer you. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, guys. We'll see.
All
y'all
right, guys,
next week.
take care. Thank you. Play games.
Play games.
All right.
Baseball? Basketball?
Basketball.
Either one of
yes.
those two, yes.
Yes.